but okay. At some point, just to keep the scene moving, Vivian would have taken her pride up and eventually gotten a spoon and finished eating her ramen with that.
As soon as Vivian goes for a spoon, Daniel will.
By the time Gen points out like the silverware on the table, Aaron just kind of goes, "Up, already finished."
Of course you have. Well, as long as you enjoyed it, that's the important bit.
Daniel's just screaming inside his head, you know you should make sure to chew each bite exactly 450 times before swallowing. But he doesn't say anything. I imagine that his
definitely
eyes
does not
say
follow
it.
that.
Oh, some good ramen. First time I ate in all day.
If this is the first time you've eaten all day.
All day?
But
Are
it's
you
not healthy,
okay,
my friend.
Alexander?
Yeah, I'm okay. Don't really eat a lot.
That's not
Are
healthy.
you okay, Alexander?
Yes. I'm okay, Daniel.
I will take your word for it, because I cannot dispute it.
I mean,
But you should be eating more. Or less. I guess it depends on what you eat. I imagine that at this point, Daniel's just sort of devolving into like a monologue about eating habits.
I usually eat instant ramen, you know?
Oh, no. Instant ramen is horrible, and it should not be called such. It should be called hard noodles with water.
But they become soft after boiling.
Fine. Inadequate noodles with water.
Don't worry about Alex.
Gen on this one.
Gen just had a lot of salt from one pack he had one time, and it never left his system.
Has nothing to do with that.
Wait a minute.
Even if that was an
I
awful
want to know who
experience.
said that.
Aaron said that, just piping up behind Gen.
Gen's gonna wave at the top. This is ramen. This is what ramen is.
But instant ramen can be fine if you only take it once in a while, if you absolutely have to.
Well,
Other than that,
I think Daniel's probably just about had his fill at this point. Put the lid back on his Tupperware container and sort of pass it back to just generally towards Gen.
It passes.
Thank you.
It passes over Alex, and he's just staring at it, and then like it's so weird.
Gen will nod and then slide it over to Alex.
I finish up mine, I pull it up where, and I just say, that means ain't no mom's cooking, but still, freaking good. And it's back.
They were, to be fair, probably a decent-sized portion of food, because Gen is used to preparing for him, who is a big guy. So the proportions are probably a little bit larger than average.
Aren't I technically bigger than you? Theoretically? Because I have a body of 8.
You're more physically fit.
I'm not physically fit, yeah. Okay.
Aaron's a
Sorry.
Ray's a thick boy.
Yep. Because you can have a high body and be a swimmer, which would not be a very thick person.
But yeah, true. Sorry, my bad.
No, I'm good to close the scene unless anyone else has anything they want to do.
I have something I want to do, but I'm trying to play the nervousness.
Okay, then I will keep the scene going. At some point, Aaron's kind of gotten underneath his truck and has kept working on it. Vivian's sitting by the fire and is playing her guitar, which is pretty lovely for the most part.
All right, Daniel's gonna pluck his courage and approach Vivian.
Ooh la la.
Real quick, I was about to say, Gen is probably nearby enough to listen to the music, just doing push-ups or something.
I'll probably help somebody. I don't know.
Maybe you're over by Gen, sitting on his back so that he's got more weight.
So Ray, when you listen to the music, he's gonna do some like he's gonna consider the idea of maybe dancing a little bit, but it's like, nah, there's no need. So he's gonna listen to a bit. He's gonna sit on the log and listen to the fire, listen to the fire and listen to the music.
I'm not heavy, am I?
Are you heavy?
I don't know.
I mean, you're about the average weight of a human.
What's your weight on your character sheet, Alex?
Lighter than a dump truck.
Alright, I guess, if you're gonna do that again, just roll me a strength feat.
21.
21? It's not, like, super easy to do push-ups with Alex on your back, but it's not, like, very hard either.
It's not the first time he's had someone do this. Doesn't mean he can do it all day, but it's not impossible.
Well, he can't do it all day because it's night.
No, that would just mean that he'd have to do it until the end of the day.
Okay. Is it time for awkwardness? Are we going to awkward zone?
Anyone else got anything they're doing before we do Adam's scene?
No.
Sorry.
Alright. Have at it. Tell me your plan of action.
Daniel doesn't have much of a plan necessarily.
Well, what's Daniel
He's going to
do?
He's going to try and basically with complimenting Vivian's work deciphering the first riddle during the challenge, because we couldn't have done that without her. That is a lovely song that you are playing.
Oh, I'm glad you like it. Been working on it a
Never
couple
heard
months now.
I'd never heard you play. Say that I'm really grateful that we had you on the team this time. I mean, you're the one that decoded the riddle. Without you, high and dry.
You're too kind, Daniel. I mean, I take language as a minor here, so I don't know a heck of a whole lot of Indonesian, but I guess I knew enough to figure that out.
Well, you certainly knew a lot more than I did.
Oh, thanks.
Do you have any favorite bands? I'm just curious because we spoken once.
I have a few. I don't know if you know most of them because a good bulk of them are Spaniard bands. But a couple that I like overseas is bit of a guilty pleasure of mine. I enjoy listening to Du Hast. I also enjoy a little bit of 3 Days Grace and a few other foreign bands. I've always actually wanted to learn electric guitar more.
Ooh. I think you should go for it. Talent.
Yeah, well, considering this is what they gave me after the first one got trampled, I'll get it down.
Oh my god, I am so sorry about that.
Nah, it's fine. I made my own choice.
Daniel's gaze is just like generally lowered.
It's fine, Daniel. You're not the one that did it.
They didn't use. I responsible, but I very much appreciated you standing up for me, standing by my side. Because, frankly, where I came from when I was home, I haven't anybody who would do that for me. At least not until things that I did that got me here.
Well, I make it a point to be unless if I'm given a reason not to. In the case of that fight, I'll be honest, I didn't really know you yet, Daniel, because it's your first year, but I'm glad that it helped you.
Yes, I am. The awkward moment, just he doesn't have a new topic, so just, yes, I am also glad that that helped me as well. About your instrument.
With that, she kind of like loses focus a bit, then the next beat's like a little bit out of twang, then her head kind of tilts a little bit. So, what are you here for, Daniel?
Trying to become doctor.
Why does that interest you?
I want whole life. People tried to break me down. They tried to make me feel like nothing. I decided that I wanted to be the one to help put other people back together. I'm stupid. I'm sorry.
No, it's not stupid at all. It's pretty admirable, actually. I mean, at least that's more of a net positive that you'll make to other people rather than just playing music. Ultimately, what I do is just art.
I felt very bad the way that business at the baseball field went. I wasn't really able to help out at all. And I was the reason that me and Kenzo's the reason it happened, but I did not help.
I don't think you should blame yourself like that, but if that's how you see it, I won't talk you out of it, Daniel. I mean, I guess better not to be involved than whatever Aaron did when the fight broke out to the mass group. I gotta say that's the first time I've seen someone choked with a necklace, but I guess there's a first for everything.
Hopefully, Daniel's kind of like Aaron's the guy who's here, right?
Aaron's like in the shop working under his truck right now.
So Daniel's head kind of turns in the general direction that Aaron is. I am also hoping that we have to see something like that. Little out of character ha there.
I mean, it's just weird being around him. I don't know whether he's like one of the most fascinating people I've met or just kind of an idiot.
It's
The answer to that question is both.
Yeah, I kind of tend to agree with that one. I admire his tenacity, but I don't understand him. It is a mystery to me.
Well, I mean, at least the rumors that I heard about him around campus seem to be false for the most part.
Rumors. More and more of those as technology soars on ahead.
But, what do you think we're gonna do for the next bits of the competition?
I don't know, but I hope that the next one involves fewer code, personally. It's not your first language. language, or Japanese is not your first language, or Maltese is not your first language, I am not good at riddles. Understanding logic, not the artistry of that. It fails me.
Well, I mean, that's why we're a team. No one's good at everything.
I wish I could have helped more, but to here nor there, you were very helpful. And was also quite helpful. And Ray, really, I feel like I was the weak link in the last challenge, so I guess I'd hope for something along the lines of expertise next. But if not, then the man in the chair.
Yeah, I mean, we got plenty of time, Daniel, and besides, I'm pretty sure our study group would be lost without you. We still got midterms, the school dance, the spring festival, and like everything else to look forward to. It's not like we're only doing just this little competition.
So when she says the school dance, Daniel's eyes kind of like reflexively dilate a little bit, but he doesn't say anything.
Besides, we're all gonna help each other, right?
Of course. You can help on the music. That is why I asked for you specifically. Help with medical issues. Gen can help with gen-related things. I don't know if I'm saying that right. So, and Ray can swim. Sander can do whatever he does with the computers. I haven't actually seen it yet. It's good with computers.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure all of us will surprise each other at some point.
I hope so. And I think Daniel's going to kind of break off at that point. That seems like a good stopping point. I'll hold the entire session in this conversation limbo.
That's fine.
Alright, any last minute stuff at the celebration from the first event, or are we gonna just peruse a bit further?
It's gonna be a quick, like, 6 second thing that again's gonna do.
Okay.
As we start to break off, gonna get the others to come over and be like, "Hey, guys, I'm thinking we could probably," and he'll pull out the video. Probably watch this sometime tomorrow, maybe after study group, if everyone's free.
Sure.
I can't remember. Did you say it was a DVD or a VHS?
VHS.
VHS.
I don't think I've ever seen one of those. Is that a cassette?
It's a VHS tape.
Yeah, as Ray says.
Yeah.
Well, man,
it's like a floppy disk,
Wow.
except for like TV stuff instead of computer stuff.
If we're gonna watch this, I think we should watch it as a whole group with our other
Yeah.
team members.
Yeah.
Yes, we should get them in as well.
Tomorrow.
Daniel kind of leans towards Alex a bit. I hope it's not cursed. He's not being seriously. He's actually telling a joke. Clarification.
Alexander chuckles a bit. it's most definitely cursed. We found it in the baseball field. Probably cursed. You know.
Must admit, I am curious as to what this UE stands for.
Does that sound familiar to Daniel in any way, or do I need to make an intelligence roll for that, or?
You can make an intelligence roll with no modifiers.
Universal Elysium. I don't know.
I am not rolling gangbusters today, but
I mean, that wasn't a bad one. That was an 8. Well, 16 total. But it's 16 total with his mod, but the roll itself was an 8.
You feel that the UE is part of a missing word. You can't decide whether it's 1 or 2 letters, though, with the shape that the VHS is in.
Well, keep our eye out for more of those. That looks like it's only part of a greater word.
Gen kind of blinks.
I mean, okay.
Out of character, it's a VH with a tape. It's a VHS tape with a word printed on it, but part of the word's been scratched off, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that wouldn't.
Yeah, there's no it's.
Well, never mind
I mean-
then. I was confused. That
I
was
mean,
no information then.
It's a possibility. There's more than one.
Well,
VHS.
it's saying that UE is part of one word. Like, it's not a full sentence.
Oh.
Yeah.
Doing a kind of thing where it was like there were multiple tapes and the letters, like a whole word went across all of
It was
them.
just missing a letter. Just someone scratched off where the tape
Yeah.
was.
One or
two.
Yeah.
That would be a cool thing, but don't know
Well-
if that's necessarily what this one is.
The VHS will be the documents in our game for the archive.
Well, Vivian, Aaron, do you want to watch this? It could be cool. It could have neat stuff on it, or it could be totally boring.
I mean, if you guys want me there, I'll show up. I'm kind of busy trying to get the truck finished, though.
Any time in our free time we can schedule this? Maybe on our study group? Or not study group, no. Not study
I
group,
prefer
just
we do
study
this
group.
in our off time. If
Yeah.
Aaron, if you need to work on your truck, I can always just relay what we find out to you, and if we actually need your mechanical expertise in figuring out what the hell is on this, then we'll drag you in later. But
Alright. Sounds dope, Holmes.
hell, we have school in the morning, so this
Oh no.
6-foot-tall man is going to go find his 6-foot-long bed.
Well,
That seems almost like an innuendo.
I think you're overthinking it there, Danny boy, as Aaron kind of just taps you on the back walking.
Again, just,
Yay!
like he didn't intend for it, but he's kind of like in that. Fuck it, if that, you know what? If it works, it works.
I'm just gonna start walking away.
come on, Daniel, let's take it. Come on, Daniel, let's hit the.
Ah, right, Ray. You, me, after I equations. But I have to.
Hey man, look, I suggest you get some rest. You at least need it.
Quick
Oh, no, it's up to you.
question, Tommy.
Yo.
Are the boys and girls dorms in the same spot?
boys and girls, there's only 2 real houses of Marhawa, but pretty much those houses are segregated girls and boys. Like, one half of it's for the girls, one half's for the boys, for obvious reasons.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, I just needed to make sure that it was one building,
Question is.
because otherwise, Gen was gonna walk Vivian back to her dorm.
She's a constellation, right?
You never asked, Vivian.
But I'm asking as a player.
As a player, yeah, Viv's house constellation, Soccer's house beacon.
Let's see. I forget which one am I.
Your constellation, homie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I must be Beacon.
Yep.
Yeah, you're
You
beacon.
and Ray are beacons. Me
Yeah.
and Chris
We're
are
both mental patients.
constellations.
So I technically do still walk Vivian back to her dorm. It's just also my dorm.
Hopefully, nothing bad happens to me while I'm walking alone. You know.
I mean, you're not walking alone. Unless, you leave Gan, in which case, yeah, he's going to watch over Viv.
Fine. I'll stay with the group. School is scary, with Kenzo around.
It's only me and Daniel were by ourselves pretty much as a group, because the other 4, all of you guys are constellations.
Mm-hmm.
So-
On the bright side, most of the way back is going to be together.
All right. Thank you.
So what are these two?
Those are the
The
2
ones-
houses. This one's constellation. That one's beacon.
Then this is.
That was where Amanda gave her presentation. Then these yellow
We
areas.
really
Field.
Go on.
Imagine.
Then these yellow areas are recreational areas. The diamonds, the PE area, and then you pretty much have like different core admin buildings. They're the seal blue, and then the red, blue, purple, and orange represent like different club buildings and other stuff like that.
Oh, any surprises for us on this walk? If not,
No, I kind of want to move a bit further along, so I'd say everyone can just get back to their
All right.
dorms.
planning on doing extra homework tonight, but the minute that he touches, like, the minute he gets to the room, like, the last of his energy disappears and he just crashes on the bed.
Ah, poor guy. As I also crash into my bed.
Is Ivo in the dorms?
Yeah, I was in the dorm.
How would my room be with Ivo?
It's you have your desk, Ivo has his desk, you both have a bed, and the room is like split down the middle in terms of who has what space. I mean, like, you guys are getting back late at night, so he'd be asleep.
Okay. I'll probably open up my Alexander will walk up to his desk, open up his laptop, and start writing about his day.
Okay.
And then after finishing his tidbit, he'll highlight one part. He'll say, saw something unexplainable or hallucination. It's a girl with blue eyes, pinkish hair, disappears immediately after looking away. And after doing all that, he'll close off his laptop and lay in his bed, totally knocked out.
Okay. Roll me a endurance real quick, Alex.
Oh no.
I feel scared. A 16.
16. Alright, the next day you'll wake up and, like, you feel that staying up the extra little bit that you did for your laptop was a bad idea because you feel almost, like, half energy going to your classes.
Mm-hmm.
So, for the remainder of this session, any physical body or awareness check is going to be at -2.
Okay.
And this is one thing I'm going to say for everyone. If you do stay up significantly late for your character, that is going to be a roll to see how well you subsist for the following. But alright. Everyone starts going to their classes. Again, you would have realized that Aaron didn't come back until much later. Then he kind of just, like, face-planted into the bed when he got back to the room eventually.
When I wake up, is he, like, still passed out?
Kind of. He's, in, like, half-awake mode.
Gen will, Gen will go out in, like, the hallway, and is there a vending machine?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Gen will buy him, like, an iced coffee or something. Something that has a decent amount of caffeine in it.
Alright, -$2.
Right.
It was -2, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Gen will walk back in, put it on his desk, and say, try to stay up a little less late next time.
He'll just kind of give a little bit of a grunt while he nods. It eventually goes to everyone's classes. Daniel, you find yourself in class about, like, maybe a desk ahead of Aaron, who's kind of face-planted at about, like, 9 in the morning right now. And it is currently World Literature class. And you can see everyone pouring in.
This is not an area of strong expertise for Daniel, so he's excited to learn.
Alright, so pretty much you see a bit of a more well-dressed Asian man come in, who you get the feeling is like one of the few local teachers, because he looks very Polynesian in descent. Like, it looks like he grew up on the island of Tashima that the school's currently on right now. And pretty much he starts going over different things in class, and pretty much he'll eventually start going over Gilgamesh. And that story, going through the tablets and everything, is Daniel doing anything, trying to get notes off of the other people around him.
Dan trying to take as many notes as he can himself, but looking off other people.
Well, no, I'm like, are you asking people for, like, help on certain things, was what I meant to ask.
Oh, Daniel's very focused on the lecture. He's very focused on paying attention to the teacher. Also trying to take extra detailed notes because he's going to try and slip a copy to Aaron after class.
Okay, you do. And then eventually he goes, okay, kids, I expect your report on the 4th tablet that hasn't fully been deciphered yet. In about 3 days from now, you can leave it on my desk. Then you hear everyone else go, yes, Mr. Tokiyama. And with that, class comes to an end.
So now that class is over, to approach the teacher, or is that just like really bad, like against the rules or something?
No, you can talk to teachers.
Takayama? I was writing notes. I think I missed a section on the... And I was wondering if you could fill me in on what I missed here.
Oh, absolutely. Can you show me whereabout you got lost?
Oh, blah, 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 right here.
Well, you see your problem with blah, 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 right here is that you ignored this passage in the previous chapter that would have helped you see a couple of these symbols on the third tablet. The biggest quandary with the story of Gilgamesh is that we never got the full picture off the fourth tablet because it wasn't fully formed, and it brings a lot of questions to the story as to why Kinyu's back alive again and everything, and what the overarching messages were. So I think if you go to your cipher table, that should help you quite a bit.
Thank you very much, sir. I aim to excel. And Daniel just leaves. Probably thinking this kid's such a fucking dork.
No, I mean, he seems like a pretty happy-go-lucky guy.
Yay, the best kind of teachers. In my opinion.
Yeah. Then, as you leave, it will eventually go to... we haven't... Again, you're kind of walking from the rec area, kind of looking at your notes before the next class. And then you can kind of hear some arguing off in the distance. It's like very muffled. You get the feeling that you're not like super close by, but you can hear it.
Does it sound heated?
Slightly.
Gen will make his way over to try and check on it, but not like rushing unless it starts to get worse.
Yeah, so pretty much you walk over there and you can see that Miss Sophia, the counselor, is talking to someone else that's dressed in like a complete beige blue jumpsuit and has a bit of like other supplies on them, and they're going back and forth. And then once you get closer, you can hear, okay, listen, Dave, we've been over this. We appreciate everything you do here janitorial-wise, but some of the faculty's having some questions. What kind of questions, if you don't mind me asking? Well, we're a little curious as to why we constantly find you taking the later shift to clean the girls' dorms? What are you getting at? Listen, Dave, we've been over this, Dave. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. I need you to put your thinking cap on right now, Dave. All I'm saying is, young girls don't like an older gentleman at their dorms later in the day or at night. Oh, I'm real sorry. It's just the shift board. I apologize, ma'am. Okay, Dave, just don't creep, and I think you'll be fine. If at any point Gen's gonna do anything, let me know. Otherwise, I'm good to move on.
Yeah, nope. He's probably like at this point barely sticking around out of curiosity, but more as it goes on, it's just like, okay, not really for me, and kind of like slowly slipping away.
Okay.
Gen does a Homer Simpson and just disappears into a hedge.
I feel bad for the janitor.
Same, unless he actually do be creeping, in which case, nah, fuck that dude. But
I mean, we don't really know.
yeah, that's why at the moment I feel bad
What?
for him.
Y'all making assumptions about Dave.
Nah, not currently. We feel bad for him. Like, we don't know that he's doing anything wrong, so that he's getting a talking to for just picking the wrong shift is unfortunate.
I mean, are there female janitors?
You don't know. You as a character wouldn't really know. I don't think kids really pay the janitorial staff much attention.
I mean,
I
know
mean-
at school there was no female janitors. I paid attention.
Yeah, honestly, same. Like, I couldn't tell you who the janitors were by name, but I knew them by face.
There's a few female janitors. I mean, obviously, like, it's being realistic to the real world. It's mostly a male-dominated profession, but like females aren't really banned from doing it. So there are some. Okay,
Again, I'll just head off then.
Ray.
Yep.
You can kind of see. This is later in the day for you. I'm gonna say like 4th or 5th period out of the 6th period day.
Okay.
While you're walking, you can kind of see that there's a little bit of blockage in the main walkways right now, but you know a back way to get to your next class, so you could avoid them. So, like, are you gonna work your way through the crowd or just go around?
I'm gonna pay attention to see what happened with the crowd. Like, I'm just gonna look at what's going on, but then I'll, like...
It mostly looks like it's just super packed from people shifting periods.
I'll take up the backstage and just, try to hasten my pace.
Okay, as you hasten your pace a little bit, you kind of walk around the back end of... I'll ping it on the map so I can show you where you are. You walk around the back end of here. Up. No, go back, map. Yeah, you're walking here, and then you're pretty much going to about here to get to your class.
Yeah.
And pretty much as you're walking around, you can see like some other small areas past the fence. For example, there's a bit of a junkyard there that some of the auto shop kids use, and there's some old trucks and stuff back there. There's a couple other smaller buildings, and then you can see like maybe a watchtower or two in the distance, which is normal for you. You've been here a while. You get the feeling it's mostly just so like there is a marker for the school.
Yeah, I think so.
Then, as you keep walking further along the fence line, you can kind of see some, people moving some stuff on dollies on a little bit of a pathway to a smaller building.
Okay. What's that building used for? Or is it just, I don't know what the building is about?
You don't know anything about that building. Like, you've seen it off in the distance for about 2 years now, but you don't know what it does.
Ray's gonna look at the people for a bit. What's on the dollies?
There's
Crates?
boxes on the dollies that appear to be a bit more strapped up and contained and everything. And
Okay.
pretty much, as you keep going through stuff, you can see these people are dressed a bit more, like, officially in, like, uniforms and stuff. Roll me awareness.
That's just normal, right? There's normal awareness with no bonuses.
You can give yourself a +1.
Ooh, crit 32.
Crit 32. So with that 32, you can see on these boxes that the people moving them, their uniforms look more like protective gear more than anything else. And that on the boxes, the Tricell logo is on them. And you can see where they're going to. It appears to be the bio teacher and the chemistry teacher, one woman, one man, basically signing for those boxes and having them moved into the building.
Okay. Question again. Tricell, is it still operating or was it just disbanded due to the issue with 2009?
Normally I would say this would be an intelligence roll to see how well you kept up with the news, but because we had Jordan's session last session,
Yeah,
you would know
second.
that Tricell was disbanded because of what happened in Africa.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. So he's gonna look at this, but he'll keep it at the back of his mind. He'll maybe bring it up with some of the others. But he's gonna continue walking to the period. A little curious of what that place is, but he's not gonna try and like bring up issues for now until we have the meeting.
Alright. And then last semi-necessary scene for teachers and stuff. This character was shown, but we really didn't get much with them. So, Alex, you're in history class, and Professor Wright's there, and he's like one of the few American teachers at the school. And he's basically doing a presentation lecture on, like, we'll say, the Weimar period of the German nation, as far as like what led to it, the effects of it, and then the general living conditions in society and everything like that.
As Alex, he has been having a rough morning since he prepared himself with a recorder to record any lessons, just in case he falls asleep. Do I notice of any interesting things happening?
I'll say Professor Wright's form of lecturing's very much like that. I talk about history very casually as I go through it, so he'll like make equations and like jokes out of it and different stuff like that. And you can see as he's going through the Weimar stuff, you can kind of see that at one point he starts showing some slides about like different effects of people that were affected in the Great War in Germany after being exposed to mustard gas, and what kind of mutations came from their genetics and stuff while that was happening.
While hearing about the mutations of having mustard gas, about victims getting mustard gas on them, he'll take note of this because after remembering what the lecture that he had the day before. So does it seem that it's like more like a bioweapon than mustard gas?
Given your half-sleep state, well, I'll just go outright and say it. World War I was biochemical warfare in terms of mustard gas and its use. You don't know that it was necessarily like bioterror of today, but it was a mutagen weapon essentially.
What were the mutations?
Mutations, this is going off actual history, but like actual effects of being exposed to mustard gas was pretty much like you would more than likely go blind from brief exposure to the gas if you didn't have a clean breathing apparatus and couldn't keep your eyes out the gas. Two, once the gas got in, it basically kind of almost destroys the skin and other vital organs. So pretty much the expected living time within a cloud of mustard gas was roughly like 30 seconds to 3 minutes. People that survived mustard gas were known to be bleeding rather abhorrently and having like crackling skin. And there's one part in the examples where the history teacher basically says that the Germans encountered a field where it was almost like they fought almost a group of zombies with how the Russians looked after being gassed. and provide as one of the primary examples of what happens to people in that.
That is all.
Alexander, after seeing all those pictures, Alexander would be a little bit put off since he's not used to seeing decayed flesh. That's probably all, unless something else interesting pops up.
Okay, Dr. Wright, Professor Wright gets through the rest of his class pretty nonchalantly. Everyone seems like they had a decent time. Then he kind of gives a little bit of like a talking to his son that's at the school, Ricky. And then after they have a little chat, do you like say anything to him before you leave class?
Professor Wright.
He'll turn around. Yes?
Would it be possible that, I know since this isn't part of history, but the mustard gas that was used during the war, would it be possible for somebody to modify that gas in any way back then?
Well, I mean, truth be told, I'm not a chemist, so I'm not the best person to be talking to about this. Pretty much, the one thing I will say is that mustard gas was a chemical reaction of multiple compounds on its own, and given what's happened with, I hate to say it, within the last, 30 years of history, I would very much say it's possible to take possibly components from this and make a new weapon out of it. I mean, it never stopped being a toxic material, it's just everyone agreed to stop using it because it had no benefits versus the costs.
Okay. Are there other instances where mustard gas has been used? Like, not just during this war, but other times?
Mustard gas, there's been a couple freak accidents throughout history where people made it by mistake, and it has killed some people. It was used in the Second World War, though that was breaking treaties when it was. There's been other chemical weapons. As much as I don't like to talk about this, my home country experimented with a compound called Agent Orange in the Vietnam-era war. So, chemical warfare of this magnitude is possible and usable no matter where you are.
Well, thank you. Is there any way for me to, find, what books do you recommend for me to find more information about the war?
He'll give you a few good recommendations on the history of gas masks and mustard gas and other chemical and bio attempted weapons throughout history. He'll also give you a couple books that talk about the Rhineland and the Schlieffen plan from World War I and stuff like that specifically, and he'll give you a total of 2-3 books like that.
Well, thanks for the recommendations. I'm gonna head on.
Alright, have a good day.